Let's begin as we did with demand and clarify some terminology. What do economists mean when they say quantity supplied? The quantity supplied is the amount of a good that producers would be willing and able to sell in a given time period if the consumers are willing and able to purchase an infinite amount. Imagine a long line of consumers with all kinds of money in their hand, all willing to purchase the item for whatever the price is, for whatever price is charged. The quantity supplied is the number of times producers would be willing to accept money put on the table by consumers and, quote, give them another one. How does a change in price affect the quantity supplied? When price increases, that leads to a decrease in the quantity supplied. And when price decreases, that leads to an increase in the quantity supplied. These statements are made under the assumption or are true when the other non-price determinants of the quantity supplied remain constant. They mean that if price increases and the change in price is the only thing that affects producers, the quantity supplied will increase. On the other hand, if price decreases and all else is constant, then the quantity supplied will in fact decrease. The relationship between the price of a good and the quantity supplied is direct. We call this direct relationship a law of supply. When price goes up, quantity goes down. When price goes down, quantity goes up. Now, why does the law of supply hold? It holds because rational people respond predictably to incentives. As the price of the good increases, the profitability of selling the good increases. Producers want to sell more when profits are high than when profits are low. Producers will work longer hours and pay more for inputs when the price they charge for their output increases. The supply curve plots the relationship between price and the quantity supplied when all else is constant. We're going to use a graph for this. The graph measures, again, price on the vertical axis, and it's going to measure quantity supplied on the horizontal axis. Suppose our supply curve looks something like this. We'll put an S for supply. Let's put a couple points on it. There's point A. Let's say point A occurs at a price of 8 and a quantity of 50. And let's say that point B occurs at a price of 9 and a quantity of 60. Point A tells us when the price is $8, then the quantity supplied will equal 50. It also says if we want producers to produce 50 units, we've got to pay them $8 per unit, or we've got to pay them at least $8 for the last unit they produce. If price is 9, the quantity supplied is 60. We see that as price goes up from 8 to 9, we're going to move along the supply curve from point A to point B. And as we move along the supply curve, the quantity supplied will increase from 50 to 60. So a change in price shows up as a movement along the supply curve. On the other hand, if we decrease price from 9 to 8, that's going to make us move from point B down to point A. And as a consequence, the quantity supplied will decrease from 50 to 60.